More extreme weather. Massive flooding in China. Huge wildfires in Arizona and New Mexico. Heat waves in the southeast. Scorching heat in Phoenix. Record flooding all around the earth. More record-breaking droughts and record-breaking wildfires burning. Extreme weather events increasing in frequency. Some 4,000 homes in the metropolitan Phoenix area were without power and air conditioning on a record-shattering day of heat in one of the nation's hottest cities. Phoenix, Arizona hit a high temperature of 118 degrees on Saturday, topping a 10-year-old record of 116 degrees for the date. The National Weather Service said clouds from monsoon activity likely kept the area from reaching 120 degrees, but forecasters said it's still the city's hottest day so far this year. The monsoon brought wind gusts that toppled power lines and knocked out electricity to homes in Phoenix suburbs. The Maricopa County Sheriff ordered thousands of bags of ice to the county's outdoor jails, saying inmates could have as much as they want and for any use, including to sit on. Above average temperatures were being seen across much of the United States. In most of the southeast, highs were expected to be in the 90s, the Weather Channel said. From the lower Mississippi Valley to the southern plains, highs were expected to be from the upper 90s to over 100 degrees. In the northeast, temperatures would be as much as 6 degrees above average on Sunday. In New Mexico, a massive wildfire was still burning toward the sacred sites of several American Indian tribes, but higher humidity and some rain had fire crews hoping to make some progress. The Las Conchas wildfire, burning the Jemez Mountains near Los Alamos, New Mexico, had scorched approximately 113,000 acres in less than a week. Firefighters said they had never seen a fire like this before. Litter on the forest floor was at its driest and had just 1% fuel moisture. For comparison, the kiln-dried 2x4s you can buy at Home Depot measure 12%. They're literally freeze-dried gasoline, it was said of the forests. Put a torch to them and they take off. It's been the driest January through June in New Mexico history. Runoff from mountain snow into Santa Rosa Lake on the Pecos River of eastern New Mexico is just 4% of average, the driest since the dam that created the lake was finished in 1976. The previous record dry year, 2006, was 3 times wetter. The Carlsbad Airport went 223 days without rain before 1/100th of an inch fell on June 2nd. It has not rained since. 80% of New Mexico is in extreme drought, according to the Federal Drought Monitor. Most of Texas, parts of the southeast, including Florida, are also in various stages of a long drought. Meanwhile, in the upper Midwest, there have been numerous record-breaking floods, and in parts of the northwestern United States, some ski resorts are still open. Also, there were more than 1,600 firefighters working to stop the fire in northern New Mexico as it burned through a canyon on the Santa Clara Pueblo Reservation and threatened other pueblos. The area, a stretch of mesas that run more than 15 miles west of Santa Fe, New Mexico, includes the town of Los Alamos and the Los Alamos National Laboratory, the nation's premier nuclear weapons laboratory. The blaze reached the Santa Clara Pueblo's watershed in the canyon this week, damaging the area that the tribe considers its birthplace and scorching at least 20 square miles of tribal forest. Crews have managed to keep the fire in Los Alamos Canyon several miles upslope from the federal laboratory. Hundreds of employees were returning to prepare operations and thousands of experiments for the scientists and technicians who were forced to evacuate days ago. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, an 11-year-old girl was killed and 39 other people were injured when when a fierce thunderstorm swept through a rural county packed with holiday campers. The storm moved across Minnesota and Wisconsin on Friday, packing winds approaching 80 miles per hour and hail as large as softballs. In northwestern Wisconsin's Burnett County, at least 39 people went to hospitals after the storm toppled hundreds of trees and left several thousand utility customers without power. Authorities said most of the injured were treated and released, but 3 were in critical condition Saturday evening. Heavy winds upended boats in the area and blew them ashore, while an airport hangar in neighboring Douglas County collapsed onto a single-engine plane. The fierce storm came at one of the worst times of the year for rural Burnett County, a summer holiday weekend when the area's lakes and rivers attract tens of thousands of visitors, said Rhonda Reynolds, a regional director for Wisconsin Emergency Management. The county population is 17,000, she said, but the long weekend drew an estimated 80,000 visitors to the county, some 90 miles northeast of Minneapolis. Yes, climate change is real. It's happening. It's already here. More extreme droughts and bigger floods, which in turn produce record-breaking wildfires in the southwestern United States. And this, too, is another physical manifestation of the book of Revelation. It's also about what kind of world are we leaving to the future generations. It should be a better world, not worse. And all these are more signs of the end times, transition days, which is a continuing day-by-day process of extraordinary happenings, changes, and events. Revelation chapter 14, verse 6. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, and kindred, and language, and people. 7. Saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven, and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of waters. 8. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any human worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. 11. And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God, and the faith of Jesus. 13. And I heard a voice from heaven, saying unto me, Write, speak, Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yes, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. 15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. 16. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. 17. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. 18. And another angel came out from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. 19. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. Again, it's time for all prophecy to be fulfilled. Everything is connected, and everything is numbered, which is also called fate or destiny. The limits and tipping points are being reached. Watch the weather changes. There is a spiritual side to everything. The fourth angel is sounding.